Assalamu alaikum. I am Javeria Khan and today I will give you information about genetic resources and conservation. These are the table contents. The topic which will be discussed today are genetic resources, characterization of genetic resources, conservation of genetic resources, and in the end we will discuss conclusions. Firstly, what are genetic resources? So, genetic resources are all those genetic materials that carries actual and potential value whether they are epitomized in living creatures or in materials. For example, cryopreserved semen or embryos. It includes all those species that are economic and scientific interest to humankind, whether it is in terms of food or agricultural production. It can be for the present as well as for the future. All species of livestock are included that are used for agriculture as well as food. It can include both mammalian and avian species. Animal genetic resources provide a crucial option for sustainable development. This can be increasing food production, adapting to the climate change, and also promoting the supply of a broad range of ecosystem services. Now, moving towards domestic animals, it mainly includes a breed, which is a specific group of domestic animals having a homogeneous appearance, behavior, and other characteristics that distinguish it from other organisms of same species. So here is the list of few animal species that are providing people genetic resources. These are widespread species including goat, sheep, cattle, buffalo, and many more. The number of breeds are also mentioned here. So basically, what are widespread species? Widespread species are those who are not restricted to a particular habitat. They can be found anywhere. Now, here in this slide, we will discuss uses of genetic resources. So, the value of genetic resources to a mankind is so vital that they have to be available for use for a good eternity of humankind in both future and now. First point says that it provides the capacity to adapt. Diverse animal genetic resources provide the capacity to adapt and face any emerging disease, climate change, and also pressure on feed or any other supplies. Many medications and biotech products are also a way to utilize a genetic resource. It also provides people with products of a huge variety, including milk, meat, eggs, fiber, etc. Here, this chart shows the status of livestock breeds of the world. In this, the dark gray line shows those breeds of a species which have been extended, whereas the green line shows that some of them are not at risk. The red line is an alarming line showing the rate of risk. Some of those breeds are also unknown that are represented by the light gray line. Highest breed that has been extended is of cattle, as here it is shown, uh, and the highest breed that is at risk is of chicken, that is shown here. In this slide, we will discuss the points that has become threats to genetic resources. From 15% to 17%, the risk of extinction of livestock breeds had been increased between the year 2005 and 2016. Monitoring of population trend is essential for a quick and effective action to protect breed from extinction. Weak policies is one of the main reasons of genetic erosion as there are no proper institutes for people's awareness. Next is the lack of management of disease also leads to the extinction. Disease management is a system of coordinated healthcare intervention where patient self-care efforts are significant. Increased use of exotic breeds as pets is also a reason, and poor control of inbreeding has also become a threat to genetic resources. So now what is inbreeding? Inbreeding is the breeding of closely related people or animals, especially over many generations. It is a very bad idea as both the copies have negative effects. This field is very broad ranging from characterization to conservation to genetic improvement. Now, what is characterization? It is the assessment of livestock populations to establish their ongoing status, recognize quality and strength which can be upgraded, and also the weaknesses that should be overcome, such as genetic improvement. Likewise, it can assist with informing conservation strategies. Now, how can genetic resources be conserved? The conservation of genetic resources is the sum of all actions that are being taken to manage the resources that are best to utilize, while maintaining the diversity to meet possible longer needs for future generation. Four methods that can be used for preservation includes management of animal genetic resources, in which a sample or a whole genetic resource is subjected to a process of manipulation of gene, uh, keeping in mind the aim of sustaining, utilizing, and also improving the quality and quantity of a resource. The next is uh, ex situ in vivo conservation, which involves the preservation of a breed in situation removed from its own normal production environment. Moving towards the next point, we have in situ conservation, where the conservation of breeds is being take is taken place in their usual habitat, and its performance includes ecosystem management and breeding program to produce sustainable food. Next is cryopreservation. It includes the frozen storage of rare breeds in the form of living semen, ova, tissues, DNA, or even embryos that can be used to regenerate animals. So now, what did we learn today? That the genetic resources plays a vital role in our lives, and they have to be preserved for our future generation, as they are a really good source of food and agriculture to the human. They are the source of a sustainable development including all living species. That the genetic resources plays a vital role in our lives, and they have to be preserved